Hello there everyone, welcome back to the bonus vid here for my Mega Man X2 Let's Play. This is going to be a relatively short video. Not relatively, it's going to be a short video because all we're going to really do here is show off the optional X-Hunter fights in the Maverick stages and what happens at the end when you get all of Zero's parts, which you get from beating these X-Hunters. First here, I happen to be in Overdrive Oster stage, but first I'm going to take on Violin. This fight isn't exceedingly different than what you saw in the X-Hunter stage. He does do that move more often, and I did appreciate that. Because, fuck his chain, man. I actually think this fight, because of the no blocks that he has appear in the X-Hunter base, is slightly harder. Because that ball is random, it can be super fast, it can be super annoying. My advice... don't do what I did, which is not have very many sub-tanks filled up. Bring a couple sub-tanks. Hit him when you have the opportunities. When he does that move where he jumps in the air and shoots down those pellets, take advantage of that and take your pot shots there as well. I had a little bit in the sub-tank, and I used it, and I got lucky. One, I missed that shot. That was terrible. But I got lucky that he did this move back-to-back, and I was able to get the death blow in before he death blowed me. Violin is not easy. He's very difficult, very hard to read. I would argue maybe the hardest battle in the entire game. Now we're in Magna Centipede stage here. I think this Magna Centipedes. And showing you notice the blocks are actually falling a little slower than my playthrough because I didn't get hit by the yellow orbs of doom of, oh god, security bonds. But next up here is Surgis. And by the way, you don't have to go in this order. You can go on the map and fight any of the three at any time as long as they're in that stage. But this is Surgis. Surgis, who a lot of people assume is the home of the soul or robotical form of Dr. Wily. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think that's ever been canonized or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't follow that lore that closely. Either way, this fight as a kid I remember being hard. I don't think it's overly difficult here. You want to take out the mines when you can. That shield doesn't hurt you. He does that circle shot thing. Those don't hurt that much. But no, I mean, and that shield can block your Mega Buster shots, so take advantage when that's down. I don't think this battle is very hard at all. It's time-consuming more than anything. You could use his weakness, which I don't even remember what his weakness is, to be honest with you. But Sonic Slicer, if you have it, make it go maybe a little bit quicker. But honestly, he definitely doesn't give me the same shit that Violin does. I will say that. He took a little over half my health away, which not great, but he can. Words are hard. he can trip you up if you're not ready for him. Here in Flame Stags, not Flame Mammoth, that's X1. We went into this one, and now we got Violin. Agile. Agile, as his name suggests, is very agile in his first battle, unlike his second form, which is dumb. But here, he's actually the easiest of the three, honestly. My recommendation is go up on the wall as much as you can, which I don't do early enough. Because if you're on the ground, he does that sliding attack, and it's really hard to dodge at times. But if you can keep your agility here, pun intended, and keep him from doing that move here. The capture card didn't really like the sprite all that much, unfortunately, but he shoots a wave of energy at you from his sword, and yeah, it's pretty easy to dodge, even if he shoots on the ground. But if you go up the wall, he'll jump, and he'll just basically doing this, and you don't have to worry about him nearly as much coming at you with his dash attack. But Agile is honestly the easiest of the three. But now we have our 3-0 parts that you get from the X-Hunters. So what's that mean? Alright, well, we're not Magna Centipede stage. Remember, we're in the final boss stage. But they use Magna Centipede stage. But where you fight the wireframe sword, you actually will meet Sigma, as you did in the original game. And if you remember in the original game, without getting the Zero parts, we had to fight Zero. But now we have the 3 Zero parts. What's gonna happen? That's a good question. I could have cut this out, but I'll be honest, I wanted to lengthen the vid a little bit. I don't like making less than 10-minute vids if I don't have to. But that's what this one's going to be. So here he is, Sigma, and a black Zero. Well, that peculiar. Same dialogue here initially. He talks about, I found a friend who has a small problem with you, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 Sigma, blah, 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 blah. But something different happens. You don't fight this Zero. No, you do not. Because, boom, the real Zero comes, kicks the shit out of the fake Zero, and yeah, then he talks some trash to Zero. What's interesting about this though is you have a little bit of dialogue here from Sigma. It's like, wait, Zero, I know your secret. You were destined to follow me, hinting at something that gets hinted at the end, where he talks about being the last of Doctor's creation. Again, we don't find out more about this till X4, unfortunately. But yeah, so Zero comes. You don't have to fight that battle. And then at this point, they talk. Sorry to keep you waiting. Blah blah blah. Make my next. Now and then you move on. That's the only difference. So if you don't like fighting Zero, I would recommend fighting the X Hunters because if you have sub tanks, you can beat all 3 of them relatively easily. But the problem is, that's kind of the problem with it though. Is you have to go out your way to fight the X Hunters in the Maverick stages, and that's not always... In a Mega Man game, that's a bit counterintuitive to how you normally play. Does that make sense? But nonetheless, it is what it is. But that has been our Mega Man X2 complete now, officially complete with the bonus content. Next up will be Mega Man X3. We're going to go right into that before we go back to some Mario, maybe, or maybe other games in the near future. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. I've been Christopher, or Zunker, whatever you want to call me, here at Zunker's Gaming Channel. Until next time, deuces.